Okay, so then going into this relationship, were you
Completely different.
but was that because it was just healthier naturally, or you actively decided
Both.
okay.
Okay, so backstory, I was in a really toxic, unhealthy relationship, situationship for almost a year, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago now, 5 years ago, and it was with somebody I was working with, and because we were working together, he wanted to keep it a secret.
I know the story.
Yes. So, I mean, call it what you want or whatever, but this is somebody I was spending 5, 6, 7 days a week with, flew halfway across the country to spend a week with his family over the holidays.
Can I just say, if you don't know the story, remember when there was that trend where you, like, sing?
Yeah.
That is why I know the story. And it hit, like, did that go viral or something?
Yes.
It must have, because, like, I still remember
Yeah.
every detail of it. It was captivating.
I don't even know how that sound went, but yes, it was like
It was like, one thing about me
is a few years ago. Wait, I could literally probably find the
Should I just play it in the mic and then we can fast forward?
Hold on. One thing about me. Let's see. I need to find this.
Is a few years ago.
A few years ago.
That shit was crazy.
It was wild. Yeah, that literally for some reason, when I made that video, I was like, this is going to go viral.
Oh, you knew.
Yeah. I knew. And it did. And then I was like, oh fuck. Like, because I wonder, I know I'm blocked by him on Instagram. I don't know if I'm blocked by him elsewhere. I haven't looked. I just have no idea. I feel like him and his friends have a silent rule of, like, they just don't speak about me.
Interesting.
Yeah,
like, I wonder if that went around in the group chat.
Right. I can't find it.
It's fine.
But
I'll link it.
Thank you.
I'll put it on the Dare to Self-Care stories. One thing about me. Okay, so you were in a toxic situationship.
I was in a toxic situationship to the point where, like, all of my friends knew. My roommates knew. I wasn't sleeping home most nights of the week, but he wouldn't call me his girlfriend. It was a secret from his best friend, who we also worked with. And so he was in a band. It was the other guy in a band who we had to keep it a secret from. But, like, the three of us were literally spending every weekend together, like going to New Jersey to go to the studio and, like, sleeping over, going to, like, 6-hour-long road trips to do shows, like, in meetings together. And at the same time, maybe that same day, I would be going to his apartment and the other one would still be there and just have decided to stay longer. And I'd have to, like, stand on a street corner or walk around a grocery store for 2 hours just waiting. And it was the most painful thing in the world. Like, I literally at one point I had to hide in the laundry room because the guy decided to come back because he
I'm gonna
left something
throw
there.
up. I hate this.
And it was so painful to feel not good enough to, like, be known.
Yeah.
Like, it was
what are you hiding? Are you embarrassed?
Exactly.
Like, what?
Exactly. And all of my friends saw it. It was so interesting because in the beginning, it seemed so positive. My friends literally, like, 2 months in, my friends were like, Lana, we've never seen you so happy.
Right.
And
Because
then
you're excited. And,
fast
like,
forward.
also the hiding is probably kind of, like, fun and exciting for a minute.
Exactly. It was. Like, there were like probably 4 months leading up to it, like, before we even kissed, where, like, we would stay up all night, like, sitting on my roof or, like, in my bed, like, talking about, like, our hopes and our dreams and our future and, like, how we have this connection, but we're afraid to do something about it. And, like, literally we spent months doing that before we ever even kissed.
You were for sure in love with him.
1000%.
This is crazy.
Yeah. And so fast forward to a few months later, it went from we've never seen you so happy to, like, we're really concerned. We don't like how he treats you.
And you couldn't stop.
No. And so I pushed them all away because I was like, well, you don't see what it's like when it's just me and him, which is true.
Right.
That was true.
No, that's valid.
But that doesn't mean it was okay.
It doesn't mean he was treating you right.
And once you start making excuses for somebody's behavior, that's when I think you're in really dangerous territory. So I really, like, completely lost myself in this relationship. And to the point where, like, when he ended things with me, I didn't know which way was up. Like, I had never experienced depression or anxiety before, and I was at rock fucking bottom, a level where I did not know could exist. And I didn't want to see anything. I didn't want to get out of bed in the morning. I didn't want to go to work. I didn't want to talk to anyone. And I literally did not know who I was anymore.
You probably had zero self-worth on top of the grief from a relationship, not only the relationship, but what you were hoping it would turn into.
Yeah. And I felt like, what did I do to deserve this? Why am I not capable of being loved? Like,
or in a normal relationship or being shown or seen.
Exactly. And it was so painful. And it's like, also like, how can somebody who says they care about me so much hurt me like this and do this to me? And, you know, the craziest thing is fast forward and we were still working together. We were still seeing each other almost every day.
So fucked up.
And so we'd be like in meetings with people and then I'd like have to excuse myself to go to the bathroom and cry. But then also act like I was okay because the other one still didn't know.
That's the craziest part, that even then he didn't know.
Didn't know. And so it became this like thing where we were like threatening each other. Like I wanted so badly to tell him the whole time, to tell the friend, and he so badly didn't. And it got to the point where I almost like threatened him, like, I'm going to tell him because this is not okay. And this has never been okay. And he was like, well, screw you. I already told him. And I'm like, what did you tell him? And so then me and the other one, like, we're talking and he's like, let's find a time to like go for a walk and talk. And we went and we like sat down on a bench and he's like, it's okay, Ilana. He told me everything. I know you guys kissed once. It's okay. Jen, you don't understand. I didn't know which way was up. I was like, what?
The pit in your stomach, like your heart probably fell out of your vagina.
But I didn't even have an ounce of courage to defend
speak
myself.
up.
But I'm like, ask any of my friends, ask my roommates who have not seen me for the last like season or two because I have not been home because I've been at his apartment. Like, what the fuck do you think we did when I like went? Like, why do you think I flew to visit his family? Like,
that part's nuts.
And he was like, well, Ilana, like this clearly wasn't happening because like the whole time he's been like going on dates and hooking up with other girls.
All I can think about is like, thank God he ended things, because usually people like this,
I never would have.
Right. I was going to say, usually in these situations, like the girl will stay in it for as long as the guy will tolerate the situation. And like, so the fact that he ended it when he did, thank God.
I never would have left, as horrible as I felt. And trust me, like I'm not like innocent in this situation. Like I'm so ashamed and embarrassed by like the way I behaved.
It was a toxic situation.
Yeah.
We were definitely not making each other better people.
No.
Let's put it that way.
And all the while, you know, there would be nights where he wouldn't answer me. It'd be like a Thursday or Friday or Saturday night and he's not answering me. And I would get suspicious. And I'm like, are you out with another girl? And this was like before we had all heard the term like gaslighting.
Yeah.
And he would make me feel crazy for doing that. So then I'd call him 20 times.
Fucking classic.
Because I was like, what's going on here?
Classic.
And yeah, it was just, anywho, I lost myself in this relationship.
It's funny because now looking at you, like I didn't know you then.
Yeah.
And you were in such a healthy, normal, cute relationship. And it's wild.
It's wild
to think about. Like your fiance is probably like, I don't know that person.
Yeah, yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's,
yeah.